everyone. I hope all is going well and you're having a beautiful, blessed day. Today, I want to hang out with you and just spend some time speaking from the heart. I honestly have no notes today, but I just wanted to speak a couple things from my heart because today is Mental Health Day, and today is also a day where I am 2 days away from having my chair for 1 month. And I kind of wanted to talk about my journey thus far. I didn't expect it to be much of a journey. I expected myself to make all these plans and then chicken out. A lot of you might know, and a lot of you might not know, that I recently lost, or my family and I recently lost my cousin to cancer in August. She passed away August 2nd after a 7-year battle with kidney cancer. And the last conversation that I was able to have with her, the last conversation where she was actually awake and talking and kind of really herself and aware of what was going on, was probably 3 weeks before that. And I told her that I had applied for access service and that I was going to pick her up and we were going to go out on the town like Thelma and Louise. And she joked that that was cool, but she was going to be the one that got Brad Pitt. And so I felt that when she passed away, that I needed to take action, actually legit take action on what I said I was going to do. So when I got my access, I believe I got my access certification, my actual certification, on August 13th. And I had already put in the order for my chair, and I got that September 13th, which was at the beginning of the week that they had quoted me that I was going to get it. It was either the 13th or it could take as long as to the 20th. But all that aside, I really felt that I needed to take action and not just be all talk. And it has been quite a month. I have done more this month, and I know that I've said this in past videos and in past podcasts, but I have done more this month than I have done in the past 5 years. And it hasn't all been big showy stuff. It's just simply been, I've been able to go to my church by myself on Wednesday night. My mom does have a group on Wednesday night as well, but they choose to stay late because they do not have little children. So they choose to stay late and hang out later than our group does, or my group does. And so I've been going to church on Wednesday nights by myself and coming home by myself. And I've been also going to little coffee shops. I've only done that, I think, twice. I went to the Corner Bakery once, and I went to Panera once. And that is something that I'm going to keep up because I really feel like it's a cool place for me to hang out and write. But I want to talk about also last night. Last night was the first evening that I spent out by myself. I chose to go to the Federal Bar in North Hollywood. And by the way, when I said that I was going to the Federal Bar to the person that I made my reservation with, my ride reservation with, It was just very awkward because you have to say where you're going, but then you're made to feel awkward because you're going to a bar. But anyways, so last night was the first night that I spent out in out by myself, and I wasn't by myself. I went to the Federal to celebrate two things: Michael Sterling's birthday, the owner's birthday, and the anniversary of his club. It was the 15th anniversary of his club, and it's such an honor to be part of that. I was also invited to be part of the 10-year anniversary celebration. And I was invited to be part of last night. And it is always amazing to be part of these specific type of nights. Any type of nights at Michael's Club is amazing. But the nights when they are celebrating a milestone such as this, it is also very amazing because it's not only one performer on stage that you see singing, but it is 5, maybe, I think there was 6 people performing. And I got to meet most of them. Some of them I didn't, but it is always awesome because people aren't just seeing a show and going home. They are seeing a show, being affected by it, and then making a connection with the people that they just saw on stage. And so I just want to say how blessed I feel by that. And I also wanted to say that I have been getting the question a lot: how is it that I am not depressed? Or how is it that I don't appear to be depressed because of my situation, because of my disability? I've been getting that question quite a lot. And my answer to that, and I want to put it to bed today, is that I have been depressed. I have been made to feel like I was, like I've said in previous posts, the weirdo in the room, and that I was less than because I used a chair. I spoke to a woman last night who I now consider a friend. I hope she considers me a friend as well. And I told her that the straw that broke the camel's back for me the second time was when I was in college. I was 26, and I consider what I went through a breakdown. So I went through a breakdown when I was 12, and I remember it so clearly. I was crying in my room, and my mom came in to talk to me, and I asked her, why am I like this? I feel really weird, and this feels wrong. Why am I like this? Because I think maybe at the time I was getting teased at school. And I don't remember what the outcome of that conversation was. All I remember is the way I felt, and the way I felt was completely broken, completely wrong, and just completely weird. So I had that breakdown, which I'll call a breakdown. I had that happen to me. And then I went through a period of life where I kind of accepted my condition, my CP, and what it brought a lot of frustration, it brought a lot of pain, but I kind of accepted it as my routine because the frustration and pain came from therapy and operations. So So all of that came, but I kind of was in a comfortable spot where I'm like, okay, nobody's saying nothing, and I'm allowed to be me right now, because my friends, the people that I considered my closest friends, did not see me as being disabled. And I know that in some circles of the disability community, that people will get offended or have a problem with people saying, I don't see your disability. But the thing is I would get offended if the opposite happened. If somebody admitted they saw my disability all the time, because honestly, speaking on a personal point, I don't see my disability all the time. The only times I do see my disability is when I have a legit struggle. Like when I have a struggle transferring because I get tight, or when I have a struggle transferring because just because fear takes over my body and all of a sudden I'm literally frozen in fear. That has happened to me before, where I've just been like, I've been wanting to do something and just had to stop, or just not even had to stop, just stopped. Because fear had just taken over, and I just didn't want to do what I needed to do. So, but I want to make the point that to get through, I don't want to say get over, but to get through a time of depression, a time of sadness, a time of you don't know what you're gonna do, or you're afraid of how people see you, you need to start seeing yourself. And this goes back to a sermon that I put on my podcast a few weeks ago. I think it was probably 2 or 3 weeks ago. You need to start seeing yourself the way that God sees you, because the quote actually was, the biggest changes happen when we start to see ourselves the way that God sees us. And so if you don't start seeing yourself the way that the person who created you sees you, the way that the creator of everything, the creator of the universe sees you, you will never get over or get through that depression, because you will never allow yourself to even try to find those people that will accept you for you. And so to do that, you can't, I'm going to say a hard can't. You cannot sit home and think you are scum and expect a good group of people to come to you. You have to, I think, put the work into and work with God on creating the life, creating the life that you want. And God is God. So if he doesn't want something for you, he will tell you no and have you backtrack. But you have to try to do things and try to have experiences where you feel the most like you. Like for me right now, I feel the most like me when I'm taking a dance class. I feel the most like me when I am out at church and I'm around my choir friends. And so I'm trying to find those things where, what is it that makes me me? And I also feel the most like me when I am in a room of performers that are at a higher level than I am. I consider and I don't consider this looking down on myself, but this is quite the example that I want to give. I consider myself, church performer, kind of being here, right here. And if you guys are watching this on video, I'm like doing a motion with my hands. Or if you're not, go and watch the video when it's done. But I consider myself here, and I consider myself a Broadway performer way up here, and I feel the closest to them when I'm in the room with them, because if you guys have ever heard me talk about how I feel during a performance of somebody else in a club setting like Sterling's upstairs at the Federal or Vitello's, I go in that room thinking, okay, it's class time. And it's not because we are at the same level, but I want to learn, even for the sake of drawing people into worship. I want to learn what it is like, or what I have to be like in the way that I carry myself. And I don't want, not to say that I want my worship to be inauthentic, but I want to learn kind of how to hold myself as a leader and as a performer. And I believe that those people, the people that I see on stage, help me to do that. So let's recap a little bit here. To get out of a funk or a depression or a bad time, you have to kind of actively say, okay, God, give it up to God, and say, okay, I want to get out. Help. That's the only way you're going to get out, is asking for help. And then actually moving through it. Because if you don't move, nothing's going to happen. There is a little picture thing that's going around on Facebook and Instagram. And it says, if nothing changes, nothing changes. So what that basically means, it's not hard to understand. What that basically means is that if you don't change something, nothing's ever going to change. Like, you could sit around and say all day, I want to be a better performer. But if you don't practice, then how are you going to be a better performer? I could sit around and say all day that I want to be independent. But if I'm just here with you guys, with my camera and my podcast app, nothing is going to change. And I'm going to have nothing to talk about. Even everything that I learned in church would mean nothing if I didn't put it into action. God calls us to take action on what He tells us to do. So I would highly encourage you, if you haven't taken action on something, take action on one thing this week. It's Monday. It's a brand new week. So take action on one thing this week. And if you're brave enough, let me know what that one thing is in the comments on my video or on my podcast. And for those of you who just started following me, my podcast is called Encouragement Notes. You can find it on any platform app that you listen to a podcast on, or this will be saved to both IGTV and my YouTube channel. My YouTube channel is Encouragement Notes with Marie Nicole. Please go follow me there, as well as if you are new here on my Instagram, please click the follow button. I would love to have a conversation with you, and don't be afraid to ask me any questions, but I hope that I put the question to bed about how I am able to not be depressed. So I will talk to you guys later. I love you, and I hope I did not ramble. Like I said, I had no notes. I just feel like I wanted to say something in celebration of what this month has meant to me, and that I wanted to make a promise to you and to myself publicly that I will continue growing and getting out there, literally getting out there by myself to meet friends and family, and to go to different shows and do different things. And I can't wait till the dance classes that I'm taking come together live again, because right now they are only on Zoom. But once they come together live, I am going to go to those classes. So with that said, I will sign off. I love you guys, and thank you so much for joining. I'll talk to you later. Bye-bye.